We're dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow.
Paling kurang rem. Sino kurang rem.
Rem apa? Rapid eye movement.
Yo ngerti nding ciri-cirine.
Itu gelombangnya hampir sama kayak orang bangun, makanya disebut paradoxal sleep. Jadi gelombangnya itu gelombang alfa. Jadi
Mas kita nggak pun SC ya. SC ya udah.
apa?
Loh, coba. Ini misalnya rem ini bukannya itu ya?
Remnya apa tuh?
Rem tembok.
Iya, maksudku lapo.
Bukannya itu sih remnya derajatnya cepat dan mampu.
Nah, serupa dengan EEG pada orang sadar penuh. Kecepatan jantung irregular. Ya, paling sering kalau mimpi itu pas rem.
Pas rem.
Iya, pas
bukan
rem.
ya?
Pas rem. Paradoxal rem.
Hai guys, indahnya pemandangan.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 won't you let the light shine through?
Like the attention, girl, I know you, but you're everything I want in life.
Salam Nabi kan sunnah jaro tamu mat syarat mulia. Oi
Okay, first question, a short answer. At rest, what is the value of the intracellular osmolarity of the hypothalamic thirst neurons? At rest, what is the value of the intracellular osmolarity of the hypothalamic thirst neurons? Just give the value. Okay, that's an answer. Yeah, we want the value in your small. Actually, this is a conceptual question. In the intracellular osmolarity of any cells, doesn't matter what kind of cells, should be 300 milliosmol per liter. Okay, so the answer is Brawijaya incorrect, Cheng Hwee is correct, General Sudirman is correct. The last two things is not correct. So it should be the 300 milliosmol, and it can respond to the changes in the extracellular osmolarity. So the next question, how is the ventilation of the respiratory exchange areas calculated? How is the ventilation of the respiratory exchange areas calculated? Okay, so basically this question is asking about how do you calculate alveolar ventilation, because that's the respiratory exchange area. So it's the formula that you know, either volume minus gate space times the respiratory rate. So Brawijaya is not right, not correct. Cheng Hwee is not correct. General Sudirman is correct, and the last two is not correct. So only General Sudirman, University is correct. The third question, how is the airflow in the lungs related to airway radius in a single airway? How is the airflow, F, related to the airway radius in a single airway? Right. Okay. Now the flow is, I think we know, is inversely proportional to the resistance. Sorry, we know that resistance is inversely proportional to the radius power 4. Big R is inversely proportional to small r power 4. The question here is on the relationship between flow and the radius. So the relationship should be the flow is proportionate to radius to the power 4. Okay. So Brawijaya not correct. Cheng Hwee not correct. General Sudirman not correct. No, that's not correct. Nobody has the answer. So F is proportional to radius to the power 4. Okay, question 4. Two short answers. Okay, So after drinking 500 ml of water in 5 minutes, you need to drink it quite quickly. Two short answers. What sodium parameter remains unchanged? And second one, in which sodium parameter is decreased? After drinking 500 ml of water in 5 minutes, what sodium parameter remains unchanged? And which sodium parameter is decreased? Okay, now what we wanted was that I think it's obvious that the ECF concentration of sodium decreases because it's diluted. But what remains unchanged is the total body sodium, what we call sodium balance. Okay, so the sodium concentration is reduced, but the sodium balance remains unchanged. Okay. So, Prof. Jaya, incorrect. Let me just come to that to check. Well, what is this? Yeah. Okay, what is that? Yeah. So I think maybe you understood the question. Let me check on this. Okay, the last two teams is there's no answer, incorrect answer. Okay. I'm just looking at this and thinking that perhaps the question may have been misunderstood. Let me just check on this. So the question is, what remains unchanged and what is reduced? Okay. So sodium concentration should be reduced. So if you put sodium there, then it doesn't tell us whether it's the sodium balance or sodium concentration. So I think we cannot accept the answer. Okay. ICF, ECF, sodium, is it? So, yeah, you need to get the parameter. If you had said, given the concentration, you might be close to answer. But you just put ICF, ECF. Okay, so none of the teams have got this question correct. Okay, the penultimate question to this round one. Okay, this is a question on a familiar graph in renal physiology. Most students don't like graph. You see, right? Yeah? You don't like graphs, okay? Never mind, this is a familiar graph. In the graph showing the renal handling of glucose, okay, what is the name of the point of intersection on the x-axis, x, by the line that represents the excreted glucose load? Let me repeat this slowly. Okay. In the graph showing the renal handling of glucose, what is the name of the point of intersection on the x-axis, which is intersected by the line that represents the excreted glucose load? Okay, do you remember the graph? I think you don't remember the graph, right? Yeah. Yeah, my students also don't like graphs, so I have coined a new syndrome. I call it graph disease. Never mind, okay. So if you go back and check whatever book, the point of intersection between the excreted glucose load and x-axis is actually what is known as the renal plasma threshold for glucose. Because above that, the excreted load begins to show. So, no answer for Brawijaya. No. Jembe, almost there. I think your concept. Jembe is incorrect. What is that? We don't know. Is it correct? GFR is incorrect. And regardless is incorrect. Sorry. Correct answer is the renal plasma threshold for glucose. The x-axis, if you remember, is glucose concentration. So that point above which the excreted load begins to show is the. When I was in Japan, they already have done this for 2 years. So in May, I'll be joining them for the third quiz. So also using a whiteboard. So one of the students who couldn't answer also something like that. He said, "See you next year." He assumes that the school will still select him. Anyway. Last question before we break for the second round. Okay, 2 short answers. Okay. What are the 2 factors? And one of the factors is related to a cardiac volume. The second factor is related to a vascular property. Okay. So what are the 2 factors? One, cardiac volume. The second one, a vascular property that affects systolic blood pressure. What are the 2 factors that affect systolic blood pressure? One is the cardiac volume, the other one is the vascular property. For the systolic blood pressure, the 2 factors that affect its value is actually the size of your stroke volume. Okay. And the second one is the arterial compliance. If it is stiff, then for the same stroke volume, it will be higher. Okay. So it's stroke volume and arterial compliance. Pravijaya is not correct. Stroke volume, let's hang on to that. Preload. No, we cannot accept. General Suleiman, venous return stability is not correct, and no answer either. Stroke volume and TPR. Yeah, the total peripheral resistance does affect the diastolic blood pressure more. Okay, so the first answer is correct, and the second one is not acceptable. So none of the teams have got this question correct. So we've now look at the score. So Universitas General Suleiman goes to the second round, and then
Can I ask about my last question?
Which one? Sorry?
My last question in my session.
What was that? I can't
About the 2 factors that affect the blood pressure, systolic blood pressure.
Yeah, you say TPR.
You say yes.
Yeah,
I'm still confused about the difference about TPR and arterial compliance.
Yeah,
Can you?
the TPR has a significant effect on the diastolic, not the systolic. Yeah, it's like if you because as the thing recoil, if the TPR is higher, the recoil, which is the diastolic blood pressure, is higher. If it's a vasodilation, the same recall will have lower pressure. So the recall is the diastolic blood pressure.
And diastolic pressure.
Diastolic blood pressure is affected by TPR.
Increase diastolic blood pressure.
But systolic is affected by the compliance and the stroke volume.
Osmolarity, first question. Okay. So two short answers, 21. State the osmolarity, that's the first one. And then the second one, the tonicity of 0.4 molar solution of urea, urea. Okay. Two short answers. State the osmolarity and the tonicity of a 0.4 molar solution of urea. Okay, let's see your answers. Okay, what is the second number? Second answer? Oh, I see. Okay, so the 0.4 molar is not so difficult. It's 400 milliosmol. That's the first answer. Okay, and then the second answer is because urea is a penetrating solute, although it's hyperosmotic, it is actually hypo because water will move in. Okay, so the one answer is 400 milliosmol and hypotonic. So incorrect, 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 incorrect. Okay. So we start off with the single best answer. So we give you 5 values here: 90%, 80%, 70%, 60%, and 50%. Okay. So you just choose one of them. Question is, what is the contribution of sodium cation to the total plasma osmolarity? What is the contribution of sodium cation to the total plasma osmolarity? Is it 90, 80, 70, 60, or 50%? Sorry? Okay, so try not to discuss, okay, because you cannot control yourself. Okay? So try not to discuss because they have observed discussion, okay? Right. Let's not start the draw games, okay? Okay, you can respond. Is the clock started? Yeah. So no discussion, please. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, that's interesting. The cation sodium concentration is about 145. Okay, so 145 should contribute about 145 milliosmol. So total osmolarity is about 290. So answer should be 50%. 50. So none of the answers are correct. 90, 70, 70, 70. So we are not asking about sodium and its salts, okay, but just sodium. Okay, answer should be 50%. Yeah. Okay, so try to so 2 questions for each student. The back students try to. I know it's very difficult. In our quiz in Malaysia, we have 2 students on this side. Okay, so we want you to tell us two short answers. If Mr. Himo, this person's name, Himo, generously donated blood, okay, state the changes. You just have to tell us whether increase, decrease, or unchanged. Okay? State the changes in the ECF osmolarity, that's one. And the second one, in the sodium balance 10 minutes after donation. I repeat, if Mr. Himo generously donated blood, state the changes in the ECF osmolarity, that's one, and the changes, if any, in the sodium balance 10 minutes after donation. Okay, let's see your answer. Okay, let's just explain when Mr. Himo donated blood, the picture that we call it is isotonic contraction, because blood is isotonic. So the osmolarity should be unchanged, but because there's a volume contraction, you have lost total body sodium. So it should be unchanged osmolarity and a negative sodium balance. Okay? So what is that? Sodium balance unchanged, right? That's incorrect. No answer. Correct. One is decrease for. That's not correct. Yeah. That's not correct. One answer. Unchanged. That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Unchanged osmolarity decrease. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Okay. That's correct. Yeah. Okay. So unchanged osmolarity and decrease or negative. Then the third one is just a short name. Okay. That's true. Okay. This is the question. State the values for the alveolar partial pressure of oxygen, and then the value for the renal arterial partial pressure of oxygen, and then the third one is give the name for this difference. I repeat, state the values for the alveolar PO2 partial pressure of oxygen, the value for the renal arterial PO2 partial pressure of oxygen, and give the name for this difference. In the presence of ADH, what is the osmolarity of the tubular fluid in the collecting ducts at the renal cortex?
Nice.
Okay, in the presence of ADH, the membrane becomes permeable, so it should equilibrate with the external osmolarity. So since this is a renal cortex, and renal cortex has an osmolarity of 300, the tubular fluid should be 300.
Oh, 300.
UI, incorrect. Hyponegro, incorrect. Greater than 300, Lampung, incorrect. Incorrect. What was it? Okay. So none of the teams have got the answer correct. So it's actually a conceptual question. Okay, the next question. Yeah, so you know there are 6 categories of ECF changes. You call it for example, isotonic expansion, okay, the 6 categories. So the question is, of the 6 categories of ECF, osmolarity, and or volume changes, which one is not observed in a normal person? Of the 6 categories of ECF, osmolarity, and or volume changes, which one, just name the one, which one is not observed in a normal person? Okay. So if you go back and read about this, this is the only one which is not observable in a normal person with normal composition is hypotonic contraction. Okay. So hypertonic expansion is incorrect, isotonic expansion is incorrect, isovolumetric contraction is incorrect, hypertonic is incorrect, and what was that? Osmotic? Yeah, it's incorrect, yeah. So none of the teams have got this question correct.
Menurut apa?
Kalau saya lihat di mana?
Yo.
Questions are slightly more challenging now. And then the third answer is just one or two words. Okay. So state the value of the partial pressure of oxygen at each end, that means the beginning and end of the alveolar capillary exchange area. And then the third question is the normal lung oxygenation described as diffusion limited or perfusion limited? I repeat, state the value of the partial pressure of oxygen at each end, the beginning and end of the alveolar capillary exchange area. The third short answer is the normal lung oxygenation described as diffusion limited or perfusion limited.
Oh, iki ono iya ning bukunya Prof Cheng. Perfusion limited.
Okay, it should be, for oxygen, it should be 40 deoxygenated, and then 100 and around that, okay? And the event is described as perfusion limited. Let me see. So 40, 100, that's correct? Okay. The UI is correct. 45, 100, diffusion, that's incorrect. What is that? Alveolar. Okay, kata incorrect.
Hari ini final berarti. Kok cepet ya? Mangkurat mas, yang mau. Mangkurat sih.
Selamat untuk Universitas Lambung Mangkurat
Universitas Indonesia
dan yang ketiga Universitas Airlangga. Universitas Airlangga dipilih karena memiliki nilai rekrutasi yang tertinggi di antara nilai poin per poin satu yang lainnya. Terima kasih.
Gimana mas? Ini ada UNER, UI sama Lambung Mangkurat. Ini gimana ini? Peta kekuatannya gimana?
Paling Ines lah.
Enggak serius.
Paling anak UI prediksi.
Satu UI ya. Dua
UNER.
Berarti Lambung Mangkurat 3 ya.
Iya.
Iya kan. Berarti UI UNER ya.
Okay. In the spirometric measurement used to assess airway resistance, what is the parameter on the x-axis in the graphical data generated? In the spirometric measurement used to assess airway resistance, what is the parameter on the x-axis in the graphical data generated? Lung volume. Lung volume is wrong. Any second respondent? After a while, we will decide no. Okay. So the question is over. No respondent. Okay. Okay. So the answer is actually when you do a spirometric measurement to assess airway resistance, you are actually measuring a forced vital capacity or a forced time vital capacity. So the x-axis is actually the time.
Ekspirasi paksa.
Okay.
Ekspirasi volume
Ya.
satuan ya.
That's right. You measure the F in 1 second, right? Okay, second question.
Gimana? Ini satu ini.
Two questions for each student. Okay. At the convoluted proximal tubule, what mechanism generates the osmotic gradient for water absorption? At the convoluted proximal tubule, what mechanism generates the osmotic gradient for water absorption? Yes. Oncotic pressure of perilobular capillary. Oncotic pressure of perilobular capillary. Answer is wrong. No response. Okay. So at the convoluted, oh yeah, making me nervous. At the convoluted proximal tubule, the absorption of water is called isosmotic absorption of water. So it's actually basically the sodium is reabsorbed first together with sodium, and that generates the osmotic gradient, water follows. Right? So your answer is partially right because after it has passed through the cell, then the perilobular gland. What the first part? Really? Okay, right. Okay, then the next cycle of two questions.
Gimana nih? Benar-benar ini mau ada gimana?
Bisa lakukan
Okay, your question is mechanical stimulus, either high stimulus or low. Okay? Mechanical stimulus of which group of volume sensors leads to the compensatory release of an enzyme. Mechanical stimulus of which group of volume sensors leads to the compensatory release of an enzyme. Okay, no respondent. So the clue is the word enzyme, and the thing with volume sensing, that enzyme is renin. Okay. So that group of volume sensors is just the intrarenal baroreceptor. So we rephrase the question a little bit. Okay. Fourth question. Which muscle structure tone is reflexly increased during hypovolemia, leading to a lower capillary hydrostatic pressure? Which muscle structure tone is reflexly increased during hypovolemia, leading to a lower capillary hydrostatic pressure? Relax.
Center of arterial.
Sorry, relax. Yeah.
In arterial.
Arterial?
Yeah.
Answer is correct. It's sometimes called pre-capillary arterial. Yeah, answer is arterial. Okay, I think we are on the next, the last. How are you doing?
Ini suara berapa?
Punya
memimpin. Dua poin. 2-1 sama 0.
Okay.
Siap.
Your question is, name two hormones not under hypothalamus pituitary axis control that have a role in potassium homeostasis. Name two hormones not under hypothalamo pituitary axis control that have a role in potassium homeostasis. Yes?
Insulin and aldosterone.
Insulin and aldosterone is correct.
Insulin. Oh, wait. Insulin. Luar biasa. Tidak.
Last question. Okay, two short answers. You need to tell me whether it's increase, decrease, or no effect on change. Okay? So state the action of the renal paracrine urodilating on 1, the renal blood flow, and 2, the urinary sodium excretion. Repeat. State the action of the renal paracrine urodilating on 1, the renal blood flow, and 2, the urinary sodium excretion.
Both is increased.
Say it again.
Both is increased.
Both increase is correct. Yeah, so the name itself, dilating, urodilating, that is the effort arteriole, increase the renal blood flow.
Siap.
And when the renal blood flow increases, the GFR is increased, and so the filter load is increased. So do we have a score? Argument and others on ICU? I can't see the score from here, so I guess I did. Oh, okay, is Lampung Mangkurat 0, UI 5, and Airlangga 2. So the winning team is so because you were arguing with another, I couldn't see the score. Yeah. So the winning team is from UI.
Congratulations, University of Indonesia, Universitas Airlangga, and Universitas Lampung Mangkurat.
Gimana mas? Gimana? Ya.
When the UI saw them hugging, they thought that Airlangga has won. I also couldn't see the score. But congratulations all three teams. First prize winner, second prize, and Lampung Mangkurat. Well done.
Like the attention, girl, I know you. But you're everything I want in life. We're fighting danger like kung fu. The love I feel is deep inside. The others don't matter. It's honestly us again.